So tally ho there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Today I was hoping was going to be a very good day, and it turned out to be sort of like a mini nightmare here because the new MacBook Pros have been announced and they're not what I expected. Now I'm looking at this from a person that makes content and from the perspective of a professional, because these are marketed as a professional tool and a professional would want the best tools with the fastest performance. So this is where I'm coming from. They're targeted at professionals, so I'm going to treat them as professional tools. Now I flip between Mac and PC. Last year I had Mac, now I've got a PC, and if these were any good, I would definitely switch back to Mac again. But I'll give you my top 10 reasons why I think these new MacBook Pros are a fail. On the 15-inch MacBook Pro, there is no 32GB option. I can't find it. Please tell me I'm wrong, but that's a fail. Professionals will want 32 gigs of RAM, and I'm expecting the next XPS 15 to have 64 gig hopefully, but at least the current one has 32 gig. No Kaby Lake processors. Now I don't know why the 13-inch model doesn't have a Kaby Lake processor. Maybe it's because they don't have an Iris Kaby Lake model at the moment, but this smacks of Apple releasing products just before Christmas to cash in and screwing their customer. It's not like you've waited long. It's only been like 3 years or something. And a big fail there not having the Kaby Lake processors, or at least waiting until the Iris Kaby Lake processors come out. No NVIDIA graphics, only ATI. So basically this ATI graphics card in the 15-inch model performs nowhere near as good as what the current NVIDIA GTX graphics cards do. Now I understand they wanted things thinner and lighter, of course. The 1060 probably wouldn't have fit in there, but still, at least wait until the 1050 comes out or something. And that's a fail for me because you're not putting the best graphics card in your computer. And they charge you a fortune, so you should have the best. The touch bar. What the hell is that? This is supposed to be a professional tool. That is a gimmick. They've had OLED touch bars on gaming laptops before. I don't know what a professional would want that for. It's not touch. It doesn't replace touch. A touchscreen is much better. That's a fail. The RAM is not upgradable. It's not bad enough that you're only limited to 16GB RAM. You can't upgrade it. Anyway, that's a big fail. They went on for about half an hour about the new displays on the MacBook Pros. They're not even 100% Adobe RGB color spectrum. Tell me I'm wrong here again. And if they're not, that's a fail. No 4K option. These are professional tools. Professionals will be editing 4K video. They want to see one-for-one previews. They don't want to see scaled previews. No 4K option. That's a fail. No SD card slot. I mean, it's not that small and thin. If you compare the new MacBooks to the XPS 15 and 13, the sizes, there really isn't that much difference. And not putting an SD card slot in, that's a fail. Alright, they've put the touch bar in, but there's no touchscreen still. Mac doesn't support touchscreen. That's a fail. It's still a rip-off. Apple seem to have this philosophy that you get less, you pay more. Don't understand it when you're talking about a professional tool here. I would say the most important thing to professionals are you get the best equipment you can. They will pay the money, but the thing is you can get an XPS 15 with 32GB of RAM and a terabyte SSD cheaper than you can get a new MacBook Pro 15-inch with only 512GB SSD and only 16GB RAM. How does that work out? That's another fail. And I'll just chuck in another one here for a laugh. They're using the MacBook type of keyboard. Now, the previous MacBook Pros had decent keyboards. That scissor switch keyboard that the MacBook has really sucks. In actual fact, the Surface Pro type cover has a better keyboard than the MacBook, or seen as the MacBook Pros have the same style of keyboard there. That's another fail. Basically what I'm saying here is the XPS 15 and the XPS 13 are still the king, and if you want to choose in between these two and you just want the best performing machine, you're gonna still have to get the XPS 15 and 13, which is a big fail for me. I really expected Apple to leapfrog the competition, at least get some parity there. I mean, only having 16GB as an option, I hope they bring in a 32GB option there. Now, if you're just using Mac Pro apps, none of this really matters because the Mac is very optimized for the Apple Pro apps. But if you're using Premiere and you want some CUDA cores in your graphics card, or you just want heaps of RAM, So you can multitask with After Effects, Premiere Pro, Photoshop all open at once. Well, the MacBook Pros are not good enough. 16 gigabytes RAM can be eaten in a second these days. So that's my thoughts on the new MacBook Pros. I will be reviewing probably the 15-inch. I don't even have any interest in the 13-inch, seeing as it hasn't got a Kaby Lake processor. It will be actually like reviewing last year's model of computer there. So I'll definitely be reviewing the 15-inch, but I won't be buying one. And I was happy to buy one if it was good. So there you have it, guys. I'd really like to thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up there if you enjoyed this video. If you're a Mac fanboy, you know what to do. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. I've got lots more tech content coming soon. And until next time, guys, tally ho.